Ghanaians had a lot of expectations, and there was that, eagerness and that preparedness to meet that expectation of Ghanaians. But I think that moving into our second term, I would support exactly what Honorable Secretary Mensah-Bonsu was saying. It was as if we weren't hearing. It was as if we didn't care. It was as if we were on our jolly ride. Chiefs were complaining. Pastors were complaining. Party people were complaining. The youth. Everything that we were doing, it was as if there was no election ahead of us. Not that governance is about thinking about the next election. It's about governance. But you should know that your track record is what is going to secure you your next term.
Right.
So you have to listen. At the time, I think that at a point, we were not listening.
Is it a normal second term syndrome that almost every party, face?
Maybe. And we did a lot of things that got people really aggrieved. People were really bitter. The business community. My father is a typical example. The president was my father's lawyer in the 80s and in the 90s. So he has a close relationship with my father, Apostle Dr. Safo. He has a lot of businesses. One is our transport company, Imperial Express.
Right.
It was thriving. It was doing very well. Concentrating in the northern regions, Togo, Benin, everywhere. We wake up one morning, and to our utmost surprise, Honorable Henry Quarter brought a team of guys with bulldozers, whether they were, how do they call them? These macho guys. Langards or whatever. He didn't even give us notice to even park our computers. They pulled everything down one day.
And the reason being what? That you were occupying and land that didn't belong to you?
The land didn't belong to us. The land was government land. The land was being leased to us and we were paying. It was a land for the Sports Council. So at the time, Honorable Neil Ante van der Poel was the one that the general manager then entered into that agreement with, and we were paying, and that is where we were operating from. And a lot of people do that. Most of the terminals that you see don't belong to the transport companies. We lease them.
Right.
And we were doing everything, not that we stopped paying the lease. They said there was an order from above that those lands were being recaptured for a government project. They pulled everything down without notice. Until date, there has not been any government project on that land. And how do you expect Christo Asafo members and my father to go and vote for the NPP? How? We have blood running in our veins. I have blood running in my veins. That is the company that took care of me. The man has sacrificed his daughter to you and brings the largest votes and the largest constituency to your political party. Is that a way to pay him back? If you don't help him expand, if you don't help him with his automobile, you go and pull down a transport company that will use these buses to bus electorates to go and vote in the past.
Did you complain this to the president? And what was the response?
No response.
But did you complain?
Elton. Complain when they want to take it. When you complain, who are you complaining to? Honorable Henry Quarter, after that, I called and called and called him. He never picked my call. He never picked my call after telling me it was an order from above. And they were going to use it for, I don't want to mention the person's name because I've been advised. And they have walled it from then.
Up until now.
It is still there. Nothing has been done on it. And I'm daring them. Now NDC is in power. Go and do the project you want to do over there. Whether you'll be given the opportunity to. Why destroy people's businesses? The business community is not only my father. Pastors, we were arresting pastors that prayed for us to come into government. You expect him to tell his church following that go and vote for NPP again. So I'm telling you. You call ye 169 na me be the leader no. Na me wo mu so Professor Michael Kwe e ba ye be the speaker for 4 years. Me say de na e ba bi.
Okay, yes we no. We the end you say wo ne ba no. You say o kan say we leader. Ya ma leader ko on post. and we deputy leader no ya ma Professor Maikuku ba ho kwan se o me contest o it is a sanity there and the papa anya hwe abone nya hwe
me patro omubua at the time no leadership obi anywhere o call no post
I say honorable say chairman Sabunsu
call no post
call no post that election ahead of 2020 election
as far as I'm concerned obia ni hono mu party e protecting no ye nyina ye ko including honorable Joe Wise obia ko contest around that time and na me kana maka sisudia so say abana ye kwato ya ye de right honorable speaker ebetene kunya no so as speaker of parliament no aseme esi wo hono ne yadane no sada no ya to abane wie ya nkan yo ehun se okwe wini ana se speaker Bagbin and speaker okwe wini ana se speaker Bagbin e wini yo
okay
so okay dey
me kai
ya to wie ye no wow se ne ya hyehye ye mra no wo 1992 constitution ni mu no se ya to aba wie a MPs no e wo se ye kɔ ne ekoyi clerk na ye yi speaker ni ye yi deputy speakers no omo so wie wo se omo swear in new MPs na eko into the next parliament omo so wie a e wo se omo ko swear in the new president and the vice president inti ancestor vacuum ebe mu ba bia inti emra ye san line obia kokoto aba ne wie ye no ye koto aba ne wie ye no edru say ye sorry ye yes no yes no esisi ho no samre no na ye hwenia e koso e wo paper no nhihye mu ni se na ebi koso na ebi ye na anhwa na enimguase na e ba beto ye no na eni enyan ito no Carlos mu hwe ya gidi ba ho e mo no Carlos betam papers ni nyina na otiti bi mu inti abano yankai die ne yankai bi die na prior to that me na me deputy leader many honorable say chairman Sambunsu e president Akufo-Addo
okay
and sane ye beto abano
okay and sane beto speaker abano okay
esan say we ye leader na wotie ani mu ho a o members na e wa akire no omo nsem a wo ka no e wo se wutimi de komampanyi aso ye na onsu hunie members ka
yeah
enti yakwadi kwakoto na anim say yesre ne nidie mu a senia MPs no ye wa akire ho no wo mo ma ye signals say ya hwe ye ne yesan de papa ne ba na wantie wo masem na wa engage yo mo na mo so ankire no ne o mo so pa a wo mo be kwa kugu ye nimu ase wo
okay
mene honorable say chairman Sabusu and the call presidency was that time ye call ye no ye ni papa kan ye papa yes you wate nti ye bete ne nka ya ante ne nka engagement na was on MPC nya no so ya ante na emom no emu na ye ti say or the dean fufuro bi so be kan Professor Michael Kwe which is Justice Doche the Supreme Court judge inti embudu ba bi no no ebi say ye de be ma Justice Doche ebi say ye de be ma Okwe inti ye de ye ti ye no wan kan wan asem biom na ye ti say Doche nsu di be mu no ene yesusu say oh ene e bia ye members kan ya ye nso ye de koma papa enwa adwuma ekoso enso ankoso last time ye ni shi abie mu no no ka che say ye kan kire wo mo say ono die Professor Michael Kwe and ordinary kwa speaker it will be a yemmo modern NPP obia na obia nko de echi iti akokotena ho no wo mo ana o masi wo madwen mu pi se wo mo beto atia no ayese ye 1 udu ba bi ase ye 1 tie adwasafo na to ye udu ba bi so ayese ye 2 emma no nkrofo ekoto no enye 1 enye 2 o sa amre ne o national security minister
ekoto no no tia Professor Kwe
nanka honorable Carlos be kwa akotitimu adan den ha no and omo yes ade ni nyinara no no wo mu save and say enimguase masse ye bekan na MPP fo dodo ankasa to atia ya ye nipa no ye target wo mu constituency second bi aso ye betu wo honorable Carlos kan wo no awedin o timi ko bi
omo tutia Professor
Kwe omo tutia ko Professor Kwe me pa che say omo ye to save the situation say ye be ya yen kan
okay
na when bi ama they have suffered.
Okay.
Honorable Carlos Kahu, ya target you be two.
I see.
Honorable Teni be pamunu ne do bi fufra ba na obedi leader. If chese ya anki ya kan ya anka Ghana mbehu ne ebesi.
Eye Professor Kwe aba.
Inti aba ne ya ankan yo. Me patrom de monko fa parliamentary hazard na monhwe. Iti hankan ya to wie ye na wantwi ni si ye wie ye no. Menua na akọ above there 4 a.m. Iti I was here 24 because ya titi bi mu e na ebi ye hunu mpo ne ya kan. Na empanyimfo at the time etena honom no e ka say 4 a.m. no ye ka se ye sabe fre 275 MPs no bi asabe 2 years or no na. You be go into the next day, a whole day be a be creative vacuum. A whole so na one way yana kuku neighbor no. There's no president, there's no head of state, na vacuum. It's yeah to me allow a massa vacuum name ma. And I'm paying for it at that time. I can't say any a young farmer speaker bagbing.
Enti esase mo ona bo se chimensa bonso campaign so
enti ese dan kwaya Adwoah Safo no okotuti awokwe na ema abagbin baaye na no ya kan de kumani ma sia de constituency
otu abane ma professor
me tu ma no me ntu anka me nko I'm that kind of person me push over
and I was aka bi say omo atuti awokwe from the New Patriotic Party no mburu tu
omuburu tu omubua na nye tu odu ba bi omo say 1 omudu ba bi 2 ntia obi tutu kan Adwoah Safo no omokotuti aye na enkofu ekotuti aye na eburu
na woni mo
na omo be kan sam kire yen leaders no se monko ye to monkra na monko kan kire nana no na ni enim nkofo na mafa sa adwen no and they did exactly what they wanted to do because parliament onu ye leader no nche say uchu obi ye school boy and a school girl obi oti obi a woni family abone bra woni sika woni bibia wodi itu be di enim a wodi ne say ni omo be kan no fa companyfo ho na yenye engagement na pepepe yemra na yentimi ye parliamentary adwuma and government business na akoba ne sa na akoye se chenchene anchi media ne mepa ni a they will also revolt and that is exactly what happened mu wie ya yes Adwoah na ne ho asema ba ne ho abatan nti yemfa no nso no
wasema wakan isi wakan ne ma mienu about the e-levy wakan professor Okoye election we na akwakoye say ase NPP aban second term no ma so ayedin.
Oh.
The committee is asking people why the NPP lost. You have stories to tell.
It's a very bogus committee.
Why do you say so?
Why? And you know, a committee that is put together and it's an intentional committee put together just to make sure that we we find certain facts and push a particular candidate away from the candidacy so that we can bring our own. You call that a credible committee, fact-finding committee. If Professor Michael Quay thinks he has integrity, thinks that he is credible, I want the first page of his fact-finding report. Why my son Michael Quay Jr. lost Domeko Abenya's seat. He should give us a detailed report on that.
That is possible.
If it's able, no.
It is possible it could be captured.
No, if he's able to do it and do it with the needed integrity, with the transparency, without biases and prejudices, I will take any report finding that he puts in there against Dr. Bawumia. Other than that, that report will not work in this party.
Is this not a premature conclusion? Knowing very well that the report is not out, we don't even know the content.
The composition. He should, no, please, your backyard is burning. And you think the best person to lead a committee, a fact-finding committee like that constituency is included, will do a thorough job for you. So why don't you go out for an independent person? So
you want the entire committee changed, bring in new people to do this work? This is not the first time.
I'm telling him, there are other credible members. That's why I'm saying, I'm just talking about him. I know there are other members. I'm not attacking anybody. I am attacking the chair of it. Hey, couldn't we have found anybody in the party to chair?
Because he's conflicted.
Exactly. Why do you do that? And we know what we know. And we've heard what we've heard. He shouldn't come and tell us that we should blame everything on Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia because Ghanaians don't want him and that he won't fly again and then we can't market him again. And so blah, 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 blah. Uncle Trust and Yamane were reporting him.
You suspect that is what is coming up?
We are warning him. If he brings that report, nobody's going to work with that report. And that it means that we are not serious to rebuild, we are not serious to regroup, and we are not serious to recapture power.
The Ashanti report doesn't blame Bawumia for the party's defeat, at least from what we've...
And that is credible. Couldn't the same person have done that work for the party? who has more parliamentary experience and electoral experience than Oseche Mensah.
But that is only Ashanti.
His name was there and they shut it down.
That is only Ashanti. The film may be
His
different
name
from the
came
other,
up, they shut it down.
The other 15 regions.
The name popped up, they shut it down. Why? Why? And now we want somebody whose hands are already soiled in a defeat. And now he's coming to determine whose defeat to what? To structure and present. That is a what? Do you know the number of votes that we bring on board from Domeko Abenya? His son should bow down his head in shame anywhere he is right now. We win over 30,000 margin. You present your son. Since I sat on the seat, my son can do it. My son can do it. They have never given me peace in that constituency. We hand over the mantle to your own son, and you were running the show with your son. And you bring this humiliating defeat to the party and you still think you have credibility to determine whether Bawumia should come again or not. No, we are bringing Bawumia back.
But if you think that, the candidate you presented in 2024 was not the choice of the people, and you obviously is the choice, then why don't you go back and take the seat for the NPP?
I have said it, Elton. I said the only person that can change my mind
is your father.
Take that seat again. And you know the dynamics of the constituency.
Right.
Christo Safo, without Christo Safo, you cannot win Domeko Abenya. The guy can go 100 times without me. And Domeko Abenya is Adwoah Safo and her father. And without me and my father, that seat will be forever for the NDC. And it's your son who sold it to them. So
it was a personal decision not to help him campaign in the last year because you were solely behind Dr. Bawumia across the country. Some are saying, why didn't you help him win? You neglected him, and now the seat is out of the hands of the NPP in the hands of a person who, for some, didn't even think that she was going to win.
Elton, there's a popular Bible verse. A prophet is not respected in his own town, right? If I was giving the needed acknowledgement, the respect that I deserved as a third-term MP, no MP has... Esodakun was the first MP of that constituency. He was part of Medina from NPP. He did 2 terms. Professor Michael Quay was the next MP. He did 2 terms. The first woman to lead and shoot the votes up massively was me. And I was the first to be able to do a Twitter in that constituency. Nobody wants to show me a single acknowledgement or respect. Nobody came knocking at my doorstep. And I still have the popularity and the support of the people that anywhere I go with him, they will leave him and come to me. The guy feels threatened. You know what? Before the declaration of results for this just ended 2024 general election, you know, there was an issue with Domeko Abenya. They wanted to...
Yes, it took a while before the declaration was done. I
was invited to a meeting. I was called by the campaign manager, Honorable Pariansa. The chief of staff also called. Adwoah, I went. A few of the big wigs called me. I said, okay, I'm going to be there. I got there. Michael Quay Jr. was in the meeting. He told the members there that if I am seated in the meeting, he's not ready to have a meeting with them. And I told him I'm not a pushover. If you want any profession in the world, that seniority is something that they cherish. It's the legal profession. And that is why when I see Atachi, I go like, oh, senior. I said, I'm your senior at the bar. Assuming we were in court, you will rise for me to take a seat and do my case before you do. So why do you want them to walk me out of a meeting that I have done 23 years at the bar. I won't leave. Then you will better leave. So the General Secretary, Honorable McMenu and everything, they took him out. I don't know whether they pampered him or whatever they said to him. And then he came back into the meeting. So after the meeting, I told them, you're always blaming me that I am not part of the campaign over there. Even in this small 4-corner room that we are seated with this guy, he's not comfortable, he wants me out. You think when he mounts a political stage for a rally, he would invite me to be there? So today you've all witnessed what you've witnessed. And so nobody should blame me. All the billboards in the constituency that he pasted his face and that of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia's face on. Those were my billboards. And my father's church's billboards. If it had gone for it from a commercial vendor, they would have given it to him for free because he's a handsome guy. He would have paid for it. No, but no. So why do you turn around and say, I didn't contribute my quota in the constituency? Those billboards are for that of my father. And those I personally mounted. And he used them. So thank you, Kramai. Then you tell me that I haven't done anything.
This question, I mean, so many comments, but 99% of them, they are asking that you abstained from the decision of Parliament regarding the e-levy. There's also the time when Parliament had to vote for the budgets, and then a personality was seen on the floor. There are questions whether it was you or not. If you can help us clarify this matter once and for all.
I want to finish something about Domi Kwabenya, then I'll move on there. The party should say it as it is. Elton, this guy will stand on a campaign platform during our primaries and ask delegates, compare me with Adwoah, compare our fathers. Adwoah's father is an illiterate. Adwoah's father is a farmer. Adwoah's father is a nobody in politics. My father is a professor and educated. My father has been in Parliament before. My father has done the work before. If you have these options, would you take a farmer's daughter to Parliament? Apostle Dr. Kojo Safo's contribution to this country, recognizable by even a child that is born today,